Welcome into this place. Welcome into this broken vessel. You desire to abide in the presence of your people as we lift our hands and we lift our hearts as we offer up this praise unto your name. Welcome into this place.
I'm gonna grab something.
Welcome into
I'll probably grab
this vessel. You desire to abide
Oh yeah, you.
in the presence of your people. So we lift our hands and we lift our hearts as we offer up this praise unto your name. Amen. We're waiting for Mr. Palm. As soon as he comes, we'll hear a few words from Mr. Palm. Okay, I give to you my boss, Mr. Joseph Palm, Chief of the Office of Minority Health.
Thanks, Ms. Valerie. Forgive me, I was getting a bottle of water, and when I just walked in here, there were people still raffling or doing something on the mic, so I thought I was running a little behind. Then as soon as I got back to my room to get my bottle of water, I was told, get back in. That's on the mic. So, good afternoon. I want to bring greetings to you from the Office of Minority Health, Missouri Department of Health and Senior Services. I have some good news and some bad news, okay? The good news is I will not take up an hour of your time to talk. The bad news is there are some things I want to say, okay? So before I get going, let me talk about a young lady that I'm very proud of. And let me say that we, as the Office of Minority Health, is minority health. So minorities includes all minorities. And I heard someone say last night that we invited, or that we have Hispanics here and things of that nature. And any of you that know me closely would know that although I may be of a darker hue, my grandfather was Puerto Rican. Okay. So, because of how things go in this country, my phone's on vibrate, sorry. But because of how things go in this country, there's a lot of discrimination due to the color of your skin. And I mean, any of you seniors here, you know that there was discrimination due to the color of your skin. And that impacts your family and things of that nature. And I can tell you that I've had different people on my staff that were charged with reaching out to the Hispanic community, because that was important to me from the first day when I spoke my first year in this office to the Hispanic leadership group. And I was asked, what are you going to do? And I'm proud to say that since I've been in this office, more money has gone to the Hispanic community than ever in the history of this office. The reason I'm so proud, though, is that, you know, a lot of times we talk about if somebody's black, or if they're Hispanic, or if they whatever. And it's not just enough to be the color of your skin. It's about what you get done. And I can tell you right now, the lady that I'm going to bring up just to do a brief welcome gets things done. Now I'm talking about Patricia Llanos, whose parents are out here and they're great people. Mr. Llanos, Mrs. Llanos, would you raise your hand and stand up? Stand up, let me see you. They are so kind, great people, raised a great daughter. But Patricia Llanos, before I bring her up so that you know, has her master's in public health out of St. Louis University, which is my alma mater and one of my other staff members' alma mater. But Patricia Llanos, the reason she came to the Office of Minority Health, and we're lucky to have her, because she's going to do great things. I don't know that she'll stay with us a long time because she has a mission. But when I met with Patricia Llanos, and we sat down at Panera Bread, I asked her, well, why did you go to law school? Because she decided to go to law school in New York. And she said, because I found out that when I was doing public health, that it wasn't just enough to do public health. You have to deal with policies. And I wanted to go to the law school to fight for the people and fight for policies. Okay? And she's a fighter. So I want you to know, I'm not just bringing up somebody, that is just occupying the chair from the smoking ban that she looked up policy on, that's going across the state to you name it. She is a great policy person. She's a great person, and I'm happy to have her on staff. And the big thing is, for the first time in the history of this office, out of all the different people that were of Hispanic descent that occupied the chair, and I asked them, look, I want to diversify MIMA. This is the first lady to get it done. Okay? So that's a big thing. That's why everybody is here. You should give her a big hand. Okay? So I want to bring up to you my staff member, Patricia Llanos, to give greetings.
Wow, thank you, Joe. That was a great intro. I'm actually here to, I'm going to say it in Spanish first, and then I will translate in English to give the welcome. Yo quiero dar la bienvenida a mi familia. Mis amistades, pero son mi familia, por estar aquí. Anoche y hoy veo que están aprendiendo mucho y me da mucho gusto que están pasando un tiempo fabuloso y tú sabes, yo como mi gente dijo, yo estoy aquí para pelear, es la palabra, porque es pelear que hago, para hacer más para la comunidad de nosotros, para latinos, para los hispanos y para toda la minoría. Muchas gracias por venir. Todavía hay más que aprender y bailar ahorita. Muchas gracias y por todo el soporte que me dan a mí. Gracias. So, translation, I just wanted to thank the Latin people and the Hispanics that are here, that are not just my friends, but they are all my family, my parents and my aunts and uncles, they saw me grow up actually. But to be here to learn and to get engaged and with the community, and I've been so overwhelmed and happy to see them learning so much, having such a great time. I believe in the power of prevention, and that's what I've been witnessing here with everyone attending. And I just want to thank everyone, all the participants. I want to thank Lincoln University for being so welcoming, and just thank you all for the support that you've given me as an individual, but also our office. So thank you.
Thank you, Patricia Younghouse. Well, as you know, I'm Joe Baum. I'm the Chief of the Office of Minority Health. I want to take a little time here. First, I want to thank God for allowing me to wake up this morning, be here, have a job, be able to do a job where I can help people, because that's a true blessing. I want to thank our governor. I always thank the governor, Jay Nixon, because he thought enough of allowing a young man like myself from North St. Louis, city of St. Louis, to be up here, a real brother, and he's a real good man. I want to thank my director, Gail Vasterling, who has traveled across the state, and she's dealing with some things right now where she couldn't make it today, but she's a great director, and thankful for that. I want to thank Lincoln University, Dr. Rohn, the president, Mr. Willie, who was here earlier, of course, Queen Yvonne Matthews, who we work together all the time, Deborah Jenkins, Brenda Robinson, Patrice Dollar, Miriam Eileen, just the whole Lincoln staff, the Lincoln Paula J. Carter board. I just want to thank them. I want to give special thanks to two people that have never been in the audience when I was speaking publicly. But they really have my back. And it's, as a young black man, and like I tell Queen Yvonne and my staff and everything, it's a dark-skinned black man, because it's tough in this country when you're a dark-skinned black man. And you 5'9", and you 200 plus pounds. You kind of, people getting a little nervous when you come around, you know, so. Sherry Maxwell, I just want to tell you, Miss Sherry, I think told me this is our first MIMA conference. And I just couldn't say enough about Miss Sherry. Miss Sherry is from the Boot Hill region, and my grandmother, great-grandma, my family's from the Boot Hill region. And from just everything you can name to make me feel at home, showing me where I need to be, taking me to my great-grandma's house and that area and introducing, everyone to me. I mean, Miss Sherry, when she does an event down in the Boot Hill, she gets thousands of people to that event. I mean, it's nothing like her event, okay? And to be doing that, and I'm gonna tell you, Sherry was dealing with some health stuff, and she's at the hospital. And she didn't know it, but I called the hospital because we regulate all the hospitals, hotels, motels, daycare facilities, you name it. I called the hospital, and I called the CEO, and I said, I just want to let you know you got somebody special in the hospital today, okay? And I didn't want to know when I'm going to be able to see her. And I went there to see her, and I got her back. I got her back 100%. And in case you all don't know it, we have a contract with Lincoln University. During the tenure since I've been chief, and it doesn't get talked about much by anybody, but I'm going to tell you this. We wrote a grant. And when we wrote the grant, it was a $5 million grant. And when that grant was written, we had about a month to get that grant completed and award that grant. And Queen Yvonne, I asked her to come over for a meeting, and out of that $5 million, $3.5 million went to Lincoln University. Okay? I just want to talk a little bit today because I just want you to know some things. Now that $3.5 million in that grant, it was written so that college students all across the state, when they were on summer vacation and during the school year, could make $21 an hour through this grant. Okay? $21 an hour. How about that for minimum wage? Of course, we also fund MIMA, which is for the seniors, and you know, that's, of course, great. The second person that I want to thank, though, and she calls me her son. And man, it's just, back when I worked in the mayor's office, this lady would allow me to come to her senior center every Friday. And I made all the leaders across St. Louis come to the senior center. And we would have fish every Friday. Okay? And this is the mother in St. Louis. This is the matriarch. This lady is the lady. I mean, when you sit amongst her, this is the lady. Okay? And in her 80s, she still puts together the biggest event in our state, outdoor event called Breaking It Together. And I'm proud that she calls me her son. Okay? Because this is one of the best ladies I've ever met in my life. It's been family to my friends. She's done more for seniors than anybody I know. And I'm talking about Ollie Mae Stewart. Can you please stand up? Miss Ollie Mae Stewart, let me know who you are. Give her a hand. Now I want to talk a little bit about my staff. I'm going to talk about first Joanne Lewis. She can't be here, so if you're not here, then I don't want to say too much because you're not here so people can't talk to you. But she's working. Somebody has to work at our office all the time. And then Miss Janice Evans. Is Janice in here? Where's Miss Janice? Miss Janice has dedicated her whole life to HIV, STDs, hepatitis prevention. And Ms. Janice is one of the best people in the United States. She travels the whole country. Everybody calls her from every evidence-based program you name. Ms. Janice has been a part of it. Ms. Janice, stand up and wave your hand. Let them know who you are. Now, Mike Brewer's here, so I didn't know he was going to be here today, and he's Chief of Senior Services, so I can go ahead and do this because he's here. But I feel like somebody else on our staff too, and I'm talking about Trika Young, okay? And Trika is over the Ombudsman program, and she travels the state, and she's fighting for the seniors, and the Ombudsman helps you know what your rights are, know how you should be treated, ensures that you are being treated right. She works with Mike Brewer. Trika Young, stand on up, let them know who you are. To the left of me, which would be to your right of me. Last night I heard someone talking about the 18 years of the Special Commission on Aging, Minority Aging, and things of that nature. Well, I want to tell you something. 7 years before that happened, 7 years before that happened, 25 years since the beginning, the flagship of our office, okay? the matriarch of our office. Somebody that has put 30 years with the state of Missouri in. That's one of the sweetest people you ever meet, deals with our faith base, deals with the seniors, very patient. I've only seen her get angry one time, about 7 years, okay? And you wouldn't even have known she was angry. I knew it because I know her so well, okay? But what do you say for somebody that's been fighting for minority health for 25 years and fighting for the citizens of Missouri for 30 years? And I'm talking about Ms. Valerie Butler, right? I love this one. Tell me. So, Ms. Cherie has been volunteering for 7 years, never asked for a dime, helping our office. And she said, I'm gonna come on by today. I just wanna come on by. And I just wanna thank her publicly because she's always helped us, never complained, and just been there for us. Cherie, stand on up. Show her. Give her a hand. Volunteering for 7 years. Now, I want to talk about a young lady who has brought the international to our office, okay? And this young lady, when I first met her, I was sitting in on the class, and it was a difficult topic. It was dealing with pregnancy and pregnancy prevention. And our former state epidemiologist invited me there and said, I want you to give them blues, okay? Let them know if their program is good and, you know, tell them the truth about the real world. Because you can read stuff in a book, but it's different when you have to practice. But she was the only minority standing up there. And when it got hot, everybody stepped back away from her. And she stayed there, and she took the questions, answers. She fought and said, this is why I think this should be this way and that. And I can tell you, it hasn't been 2 months. And since she's come to our office, I mean, this is the person that gets on me and says, we can do this better. And I'm somebody that says, we can do this better. So to have somebody that can tell me, no, we can even do this better, is lovely. She happens to share my birthday, which is Christmas Eve. But this young lady is bright, she's compassionate, she's caring, she's from Trinidad, okay? And she brings our international flavor to the office. I'm talking about Candace De Silva. Stand on up, let her know. Next, I want to thank my seniors that have come to this conference. You know, my grandma died a few years ago. I won't talk about that long because I'll tear up. I ain't gonna lie. But this is what I look forward to every year because when I see you, I think about my grandma. And it angers me that we don't treat our seniors better. So when I come here, I want you to have the best conference you can have. It's so important to me. And I wish my grandma had been alive and been able to see this conference. But I wasn't in this position. before she passed away, but she would have been there every year. So I just want to thank you for attending. And next I want to thank two people that retired that are still here. And I can even say three, because she may be here, I didn't know, so I didn't put it in there. But the three people, one is Glenda Meacham-Kane. I don't know if Glenda's in there, but she's been volunteering and things of that nature. She retired from the state, and she's such a wonderful person. The second person that I want to thank is Officer Chuck Walker, because Chuck Walker retired from the JCPD, and a lot of people when they retire, they just walk away because they're not getting paid to do it anymore or whatever, and they just walk away. But Officer Chuck is not that kind of person. You know, he has remained. I think he taught a class today, and he's one of the best police officers I've ever met, and one of the best people I've ever met. And I just think that we should really thank Officer Chuck Walker for all he's done. Next person I want to thank that retired this year, and he remained. And when we have our board meetings, or whatever we're doing to raise money, or you name it, this man works hard, and he keeps us entertained. Okay, he makes it fun to work. And I want to just congratulate him on his retirement, and he's here today. And I got to pronounce this right, Mr. Jerry Hi, Susan. Alzheimer's, which is what this is about, is also called senile dementia. It's a progressive neurodegenerative disease that destroys memory and other important mental functions. There are more than 3 million cases per year in the U.S. I got to sit on the Alzheimer's task force with the Alzheimer's Association, Carol Rodriguez and a group of us, and the Sunday before I started on that task force, we released a document. My mom's best friend and mother invited me over because I didn't know that her mother had Alzheimer's. And when you get to see the effects of Alzheimer's, you know, I started out fighting fires, and I've seen a lot of things. But it was tough seeing that. It was tough seeing it. And a lot of our community is not educated on it. Janos, although I told you, is a great researcher, Patricia. She came to me and she said, hey, you know what, not only is it bad in the Hispanic community, it's going to increase 400%. And we have to start doing better. One of the things we've done is we hold a Healthy Brain Conference every year. They say that physical exercise and memory games and a number of other things help, but as of right now, there's no cure. And by 2050, we will have the largest older population ever in the history of the United States. You know, Mike's going to have a lot of work on his hands, and I am too, and everybody that's in public health. The first case of what became known as Alzheimer's disease was diagnosed in 1901 by a German psychiatrist named allelios Alzheimer's. I don't know if people knew that, but 1901. And this is 2015. However, what I want to leave you with is that I think the greatest population of Alzheimer's patients are our younger adults. And the reason I say that to you is many of the younger adults have forgotten the contributions that you seniors have made for us to be here right now. They've forgotten about the contributions you made where we can get our education. If you look at our country right now, in the minority community, all the indicators show that we're doing the worst as far as education. And that's shameful. When you look at how hard many of you fought for us to be able to read, for us to be able to get an education, for us to be able to vote, for us to be able to do so many things. And when you look at communities, many of you built the communities. And when we do get an education, we move out the community. Okay? We think we're too good, and we move out the community. We don't come back and we don't reach back to help. Because I'm going to tell you, it was my grandma. It was my grandma that got on me, that told me, yes ma'am, yes sir, no ma'am, no sir. You ain't had a beating until you had a boot heel beating. It's my grandma that taught me about trees. Okay? She taught me that there were switches on trees, okay? And there's a way to pick them, and make sure you pick the big ones, okay? It was my grandma that taught me what the old style iron was, okay? That you would heat up on the stove. It could be used for ironing. It could be used upside your head. There's a lot of ways that an iron could be used, okay? It was my grandma that taught me about the spoons and forks on your table and how to use them. And putting a napkin and things in my lap. Although my staff will tell you I still managed to get stuff on my shirt. Wow, but anyway. But it was my grandma that taught me all that. But yet these young people, they think they don't need to listen to you. They think they know everything. And when you look at it, back when the communities were the way they were, we didn't have all these homicides. You can talk to your neighbor, you didn't even have to worry about if it was a single family. Because any man on that street will punch you in your chest and get you together. These young people even have forgotten how to pull up their pants. So what I want to tell you lastly is this, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. I love you, and you know I love my grandma. And I'm going to do everything I can to make change for the better, for minorities, for seniors. Everybody on my staff, I know I get on their nerves. I know I do, be honest with you. Because I'm always on them about get better. But I have a superstar staff. I really do. So, still gonna get on. Because my grandma got on me. Okay. And she told me that's the way you get it done. So, I want you to know, like I said, I love you. Do me a favor though. When you go back home, sit your children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren down and teach them the history. Make them sit down. Make them sit down and learn the history. Help them understand how you got to be here, what you did, how things were, why they should appreciate education, why they should appreciate getting up, being on time, going to work, why they should work hard no matter what job they're in. Okay? Help them understand why you made the sacrifices that you made. And help them understand that they are no good if they don't help the people in their community. Because I'm telling you right now, if we don't start helping each other with the numbers I'm seeing, I think in St. Louis it was, what was it, 150? Is it 200 homicides now? Okay. It might be almost 200. Okay. And if you watch the news, I mean, it's gunshots everywhere. You know, God bless the families of those newscasters and reporters. Got shot live on air today in Virginia. Both of them were killed. And the lady that was getting interviewed got shot in the back. I mean, we have to start working together. And I'm telling you right now, when I go around, and I'm just telling you the truth, the only person that the most hardcore gang member I've talked to, or somebody that's not acting right or whatever, the only people they listen to is their grandparents. When these young ladies have children and they don't know how to take care of them, who do they take them to? I know you might be tired because you've already put in your work, but I got to ask you to keep working because we're in danger of all your sacrifices being reversed, and we're going to have to start over. Because those who fail to remember their history are doomed to repeat it. So, as I leave you, I tell you I love you, but if I told you I could do it by myself, I would be lying to you. We need everybody in this room. Everybody in this room. So with that being said, thank you for allowing me to come in front of you. And I might not be where you see me or whatever, but my staff will tell you, everybody will tell you, although you might not see me, I'm going to be fighting for you. I'm going to be working hard. The senator was here this morning. She's going to be working hard. My staff, they work hard, I'm telling you. And we don't have a big staff, but we have a mighty staff. And pray for them, okay? Pray for them. So I love you. God bless you. Peace and love to you. May God bless your families, bless your children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren. And let's all work together and make some change. Thank you.
Thank you.